The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, was set up by the General Yakubu Gowon administration on the 22nd of May, 1973, as a tool for fostering national unity, youth development, self-reliance, and purposeful development of Nigeria as a nation. The founding fathers of the scheme have indeed achieved its core mandate. The essence of this was to expose the youths of Nigerian descent to the multicultural and heterogeneous traditions that span across the different geopolitical zones of the country. The Director General, Brigadier General SHUAIBU IBRAHIM, was appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari as the 18th Chief Executive Officer of the NYSC, and he resumed office on the 10th of May 2019. On assumption of office, he unfolded the policy agenda for his administration. These include sustained effective utilization of the potentials of core members for optimal benefit, pursuance of a technologically driven organization in order to deepen effective service delivery, improvement of the welfare and security of core members and staff, to strengthen existing collaboration with stakeholders, to also reinvigorate NYSC ventures and skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development. The first challenge the new DG had to confront was the issue of mobilization of unqualified persons who seek to participate in the scheme with questionable degree certificates.
What is your work? Yes. What is your work? What is the date of the birth? It's written in the what did they write? Bye-bye.
Having identified the sources of such certificates, he promptly convened a meeting of registrars of core producing institutions, at the end of which far-reaching strategies were adopted to curb the trend. The Director General approved the inclusion of date of birth in the NYSC Certificate of National Service to effectively checkmate the violation of the Act.
On assumption of office, May 10th, 2019, I noticed that hues and cries from core employers complaining of some core members. We post with them and not measuring up properly as graduates. And that informed us to bring some measures to check the core members who do mobilize for service. And these measures it was an eye-opener to us in the NYSC. And since then, what came out from the verification exercise, which is in line with the NYSC Act. NYSC Act empowers us not to mobilize unqualified graduates. And we have to bring out these measures to see how we don't bring such unqualified group to serve. And what came out of it was mind-boggling. Several of such fake members were arrested in our various camps nationwide. Some of them have been prosecuted, and some have been jailed, and also some prosecution is still ongoing. So that's to tell you that we are winning the war.
Consequently, out of over 20,000 foreign-trained prospective core members invited for verification of the documents they uploaded for the 2019 Batch C mobilization process, only about 3,321 appeared for the exercise.
For the local home trained graduates, we already have a link with the core producing institution. We usually meet with them before every mobilization. And when the DG came in, he introduced further, in addition to submission of the master list by the core producing institution, that's after the Senate must have ratified the result. They will in addition sign an indemnity form so that if there is any funny thing there, they will be called to answer. As for the foreign train, he introduced this pre-camp verification. during the pre-camp verification. That's in addition to verifying online documents after submission. They will assemble at a particular place. Their documents will be further verified physically.
The Director General was quick to decipher that improving the fortunes of the NYSC is predicated largely on getting stakeholders to be alive to their statutory responsibilities to the scheme. It was in this regard that he embarked on a nationwide sensitization of critical stakeholders on the provisions of the NYSC Act.
He organized a workshop where the NYSC Act was dissected and the role expectation of each of the stakeholders, each segment of our stakeholders, were clearly explained, and I believe by now all our publics are well carried along and they know what their roles should be in national service.
These interactions have indeed yielded remarkable results in the 1 year of his administration, as seen in the completion and handing over of a newly built and fully functional orientation camp by the Anambra State government in the southeast. Bayelsa State in the south part of the country is on the same path as its own camp is nearing completion. Several other states in the country have embarked on comprehensive renovation and upgrade of facilities in their orientation camps.
NYSC una dey try, Nigerian youths una dey try, Nigerian farmers unko, you una do well.
In line with his administration's goal, he has reinvigorated the NYSC ventures, recognizing the imperative of seeking alternative ways of raising funds for the scheme's operations. At his behest, the NYSC management has upgraded and repositioned the NYSC ventures to raise revenue. Consequently, new tractors and implements have been procured for massive production and processing of rice.
Rejigging our ventures is also one of my cardinal programs. So I've set up a committee to look into how we can rejig the ventures. This we have done. They will have resuscitated some of our moribund farms. We had a very good rice harvest in Kebbi. Also our series also in Abuja, in Kwali, and others. So I have also paid an advocacy visit to some state governments in order to avail us of farmland, so that we can also, if I want to key into the government policy of a promotion of local content and the agribusiness. And this we are determined to do. And I'm happy the governors have promised that they are going to give us additional farmland, so that especially for rice farm, so that we can go into farming. We have NYC bread now. We also have NYC table water in Abuja, and they are doing very well. But actually, if you come to our headquarters, if you go to around Kuba area, people are enjoying NYC bread and so on. This is quite rewarding.
The Director General National Youth Service Corps had made it very clear that he believes that the new NYSC can really come strong when we reposition the Ventures Management Department. And he immediately set up a committee which I chaired. We have the garment factories, we have the rice mill, we have the feed mill, we have the 4 settlements, the farm settlements situated in Dugobe, Bauchi State, Saminaka, Kebbi State, Iseyin in Oyo State, and Lele Kwali, the Federal Capital Territory.
Understanding the strategic importance of empowering its youth corps members for a self-reliant life after the service year, the Director General has strengthened the skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development, said.
I visited the MD of the Bank of Industry, and we have discussed with them and see how we can fine-tune our partnership. You know, they do avail core members of a loan, and they designate we will need to set up a better mechanism to monitor the beneficiaries of this loan, so that because it's supposed to be a revolving loan, this we have set up a mechanism, we have strengthened the SAI department, and of course, you know, we have both income training for our core members in camp, And then also the post-camp training. After the camp, the training continues. And of course, we'll have our site centers in Gombe. We also have one now under construction in Kazaure. That one has reached almost 95% completion. We're about to start, due to our partnership with the Access Bank, we're about to start the one for the North Central in Kefi. And we intend to also expand the scope. And of course, we have site centers, also unit in all the states secretariat.
Before now, I never knew anything called SHUAIBU, not until I got to the camp and I was introduced to one of the SHUAIBU program, which is about cake making. Even before now, I don't even know anything about cake. But for me, when I got here, I can now bake. So far, so good. For the 2 classes that I've attended, I can bake about 5 types of cake.
This 1 year has brightened the prospects of the SHUAIBU department. We have taken it in 3 prongs to improve the core members' lot by giving them quality skill training, to expand the opportunities for financial empowerment, and also to improve the staff who are their immediate supervisors. In this regard, we have engaged more quality trainers. We have also improved our training profile through the inclusion of online development of curriculum and training.
The NYSC helmsman has in the last 1 year relentlessly pursued increased stakeholders' involvement in the implementation of the SHUAIBU program through engagements with many of the scheme's existing collaborating partners. Some of the gains include collaboration with Unity Bank on funding of business plan development programs for core members, partnership with the British American Tobacco Nigerian Foundation, BATNF, for empowerment of core members with agricultural skill and business trainings, farm internship, mentoring, farm input supplies, and strategic support from Access Bank PLC with the construction and donation of mega training centers for the program. The administration of General Ibrahim is also upgrading and strengthening the NYSC online integrated system platform to enthrone a culture of integrity and efficiency in the scheme's operation. The DG looks forward to leveraging on the gains from the advancement of ICT operations.
To realize that most of our operation involves a lot of traveling, both the core members and the staff. And the fallout of this is not too palatable. And that is why I want to see how we can use IT to drive most of our operation. Just as I said, we want to see can run through teleconferencing, hold meetings from my office and chat with my staff, and even address core members in the camp from the office. Instead of necessarily traveling, we want it to save cost, it will save lives and accidents and all.
The NYSC integrated system houses almost all the operations of the scheme. And as a chief executive, he understood it as such. He has built staff capacity in the area of ICT, particularly for the end users. My advice for these core members is that they must be conscious of their biodata. From experience, we notice that some of them, their records are not straight. They are not clean. Some of them, they owe a different date of birth in JAMB, a different one in WAEC. So there is need for them to begin to realize that with NYSC platform, we use the date of birth from JAMB portal and the state of origin. When we handshake with JAMB portal, we pick Lagos. And meanwhile, you are from Anambra. So they will write to say change. NYSC does not change.
General Ibrahim is passionate about the welfare of the core members. This is rightly so, because as he has always observed, I quote, "Core members are given to us on trust by their parents and the nation in general," unquote. Furthermore, management has, through engagement with relevant agencies, secured a review of core members' allowances from 19,800 naira to 33,000 naira, in line with recent increase in the remuneration of civil servants.
The Director General, right from orientation camp, that assignment of monitoring the welfare of core member, he has been very practical about it. He goes around all the orientation camp to ensure that all the state coordinators are working to the rules. The food items, the facilities in terms of welfare, clothing of core members on camp, security of core members. Apart from all officials that visit camps for one assignment or the other, he made it a rule to go to camp, and he has been very practical about it. He will not just visit the camp, he will eat the food there to know whether the officers on ground are working to the rules.
I don't joke with the welfare of core members. That's why core members have my phone numbers. Every day, up to 2, 3 a.m., any time of the day, we chat with my core members. Where there are problems, they reach out to me. Of course, we have a health insurance. The federal government has directed that we should key to a health insurance scheme, which we have done. And the MD of the health insurance scheme was with us here, and we are fine-tuning that aspect. Of course, core members also have insurance cover. Those that die in course of service are also paid insurance.
The DG has made it a point of duty to personally visit and commiserate with parents of deceased core members, including a visit to the family of Precious Owolabi, a correspondent of China's television, who was killed in the line of duty during one of the shared protests in Abuja.
We were so grateful to Mr. President and the Vice President who visited the family personally with me in Zaria. And it was a moral booster for the core members.
The sum of 32 million naira was provided by the scheme for the procurement of smart prosthetic limbs for a core member, Nuruddin Tahir, who lost his arm in a road traffic accident in Taraba State, northeast of Nigeria.
Nuruddin Tahir, also a core member who had accident along with other core members on their way to report to the primary assignment in Taraba. He came to the camp with one arm and he lost the other one. So we contacted a company in Dubai, and he has given to give us a prosthetic artificial arm, and which it has been supplied to the tune of 32 million. He's undergoing training with it now under the supervision of the company and our Nysc office in Lagos. Any moment for now is going to be out with these 2 artificial arms.
Given that a motivated workforce is essential to the successful pursuit of the scheme's mandate, the administration of Brigadier General SHUAIBU Ibrahim has increased the depth and height of the capacity building and training for staff to enhance their productivity.
Staff welfare is very paramount to me. Promotion are given us at when due. And of course, we just had a promotion in February. Before they were about to go for our orientation when the pandemic started. Our promotion comes as when due. The entitlement, they get them as at when due. And training, we also emphasize on training and so on. So the staff, so far so good. I think we are also on the same page when it comes to welfare staff.
The need for effective communication in spreading the laudable programs of the NYSC cannot be overemphasized. This has necessitated the need for the scheme to begin the process of securing a broadcast license for its own radio station, the Nysc Radio.
I discovered that if you go to most of the radio stations in this country, most of them are manned by core members. I said there's a need for us, as part of one of my Canada program, the need to tap the potentials of our core members. And that is what informed me to establish to apply for a license for an FM radio in Abuja. By God's grace, it has reached advanced stage. It has gone to the presidency for approval. Apart from them showcasing their talent, it's also a training ground for core members. Those of them who venture into journalism in the future. And also, of course, I'm also determined that we don't We don't want to be so much a burden to the government. So let's see how we can also bring something on the table as revenue generation to the government, so that some of the revenue that we generate may take off some aspect of overhead for the government, so that the government know that we're not just a consuming agency, we're also bringing something on the table.
The scheme instituted sports and cultural festivals as tools for fostering national unity and friendship, while promoting the spirit of sportsmanship among the core members.
We have an NYSC football team, and they are doing very well, and the management has supported them tremendously. And also in February we organized the NYSC Sports and Cultural Festival. It has been suspended since 2018, but I brought them back. I brought the competition back, and it was quite interesting. It was witnessed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, members of the governing board, also the Minister of the Youth and Sport was also there, and a lot of talents were discovered from there. And the fallout of the sports and cultural affairs, for me, the management is going to come up with an NYSC national cultural troupe, so that instead of either both government, both the public and the private sector, instead of inviting other people to charge you heavily for entertainment, our core members can be invited to perform. We also have a movie. Our plan was just for the pandemic. Our plan was to launch the movie on my first of anniversary. The title of the movie is NYSC A Call to Service. It was mostly acted by core members. We injected some superstars like Pierre Father, Peter Doche, Okon and others, Alinuhu and others into the films.
Over the years, latent talents have been discovered, with some of them selected for various sports and cultural national teams. This year's edition was filled with pomp and pageantry. In their contribution to the national response to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, inspired by the call of the DG, core members nationwide overwhelmingly stood out to be counted.
The management tasked our core members that they must also be relevant in the fight against this pandemic. Apart from our medical core member personnel, we have core members who have produced nationwide disinfectant soap, sanitizers, face masks. In fact, some of the core members have also developed a leg operation machine for dispensing of washing of hands and as well as sanitizers. It was launched in Kano, and others are also in the offing. And the team has received a lot of commendation nationwide. They have received a lot of letters of appreciation of what the core members are doing. But apart from this, the core members are also involved in sensitization. They also are involved in distribution of relief materials. There's the palliatives. They're also involved in it. They also raise funds to also help the indigent Nigerians all over the country. You could see them donating foodstuff and so on. Also going to distribute the face masks, sanitizers free to Nigerians, either in the marketplace, in communities, and so on. Once when you see what these communities are doing, it's quite mind-boggling.
Indeed, the one-year administration of Brigadier General SHUAIBU Ibrahim has been eventful, though challenging, but as resilient, committed and dogged, the DG weathered all the storms for this great success within this period in review. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, uses this opportunity to appreciate all stakeholders of the scheme, especially the federal government, state governments, the Nigerian Army, and other security agencies whose efforts in no small measure have contributed immensely to this success story.
I want to thank the federal government for the support to the NYSC, the increment in the payment, in the new allowance paid to corps members. You can see the corps members are happy and ever ready to give more. Some of them have even donated the allowance in support of the COVID-19 fight, pandemic. And I also want to thank the Minister of Youth and Sports, who is always available for the scheme. His energy and support for the NYSC is tremendous, and I want to thank him immensely for this. The governing board, the management wouldn't have succeeded without the tremendous support of the NYSC National Governing Board. The relationship with the scheme, between the scheme and the management has been very, very cordial, and the support is very, very tremendous. This, I cannot thank them enough. I want to thank the staff for their support and also the corps members for their understanding. And I can assure you with this harmonious relationship, if further sustained, NYSC will go to the next level. In this period of this pandemic, my corps members should continue to render selfless service to our country. They should play safe, they should be very careful, and adhere strictly to the COVID-19 protocol.